So, Colton, welcome to Gamify My World. That's gonna be our name, our brand for gamification, specializing events. So, first of all, how was your time in Orlando? How did it go for you?
It was an amazing experience. I couldn't have asked for a better 4 days. It did not know what to expect coming into that trip. It being my first time, the first few days of work at Coca-Cola, let alone not even having my own work computer, work email set up, nothing set up. So kind of went into it very raw. Didn't know anything really from my job standpoint, nor the people would be working with. I met everyone on my team in Florida that morning when the gamification began and the whole conference as a whole began. So it was really good time.
Awesome, Colton. Thank you so much for being here. And we have talked about you before. We didn't use your name, but now we're coming out. And yeah, this is Colton. He was 4 days into the organization when the event happened, and he actually used his university email to log into the platform and stuff that was odd, but somehow he crushed it. But just tell us about yourself. How did you get in Coca-Cola? What's your background? You just finished, or how was it?
Yeah, so I had just graduated from University of Texas in Austin back in May. So that's why I'm still using my college email and was just about 5-6 weeks out of graduation when I went to Orlando and began my career at Coca-Cola. Um, at University of Texas, I majored in finance with actually an energy focus. So I was primarily doing oil and gas investment and evaluation, as well as oil and gas commodity trading. So I, all senior year and second half of junior year when I was recruiting, assumed that I would be working in some oil and gas company in Houston, Texas, doing likely commodities trading or business development and investment valuation. However, some other things, some other opportunities arose, and now I'm here with Coca-Cola. It was a really great opportunity I was presented with at Coke. I actually very unorthodox way of meeting, and because in school I would work at the racetrack in Austin, known as the Circuit of the Americas. Very well known track. We've got MotoGP there. It's the only race in the North America. It's in Austin. Formula One, most notably, and at the time, as a couple years ago, is the only race in the United States. However, they now have races in Miami and Vegas, and they also do NASCAR as well as a bunch of other smaller events. But those are the three big race weekends of the year for the racetrack. And I've been working there for the past 2 years as a part-time contractor on those weekends. I would be a golf cart driver for VIPs and different guests and celebrities that were there at the track. And I had now been, after last October, Formula One 2022, I was fortunate enough to drive a couple people very high up in Coca-Cola, and they really enjoyed our conversations, really enjoyed my communication skills, and I was able to express to them some of my education goals with finance and what I'm pursuing. And they really liked that, and they told me to send them an email, my resume, and would love to see it, try and make an opportunity available for me. And at first I was like, oh, they've been at the racetrack all day, and maybe just like I gave them a really nice ride. They might have been having a couple drinks. Who knows? Like this isn't gonna really go anywhere. But then, lo and behold, a week after I sent the emails and thank yous, um, they reached out to me and set up a interview, a pre-assessment interview, just a simple call, and I was able to talk to some people at Coke via Teams while I was in Austin. I guess their view of me continued on. They still really liked me and invited me out to tour the company headquarters in Atlanta a few months later. So I was able to fly to Atlanta, did a tour, met more people there, and again, the next step from there was a more formalized interview, a couple of rounds of interviews. So after I left Atlanta and after I met some people there and talked with them there and had a presentation with them, I had a formal interview video call, and it, I guess it went really well. I ended up getting a job from Coca-Cola, the offer from Coca-Cola in April, early April, I believe. Yes, it was early April, or no, March. Sorry, late March, somewhere around that time period, spring, of my senior year, getting a job offer from Coca-Cola. And at that point, I was already a little stressed just because I was still recruiting and graduation was soon. Um, and then Coca-Cola hinted at me with a great opportunity, and I had some other options at the same time. And interestingly enough, I got 3 offers in the same week from Coke and 2 other oil and gas companies. They all had the same deadline response day of a Monday of the following week. So I was sitting on these 3 companies for about 6 days and just thinking it through. Just one, I'd never been to Atlanta and never tried anything like that. I did for school, but didn't really know many people in Atlanta. Fortunately, one of my best friends growing up got a job in Atlanta as well, and we decided to live together. He said, "If you come here, we'll live together." I'd be like, all right, that'll be good. I'll have a roommate. I'll have a friend, at least one friend. And I just think Coca-Cola provided me with more opportunities, more room to growth, more places to learn. Besides being one of the most well-known companies in the world, it's also well-known for being a great community and great work culture. So I said, all right, let's do it. Worst comes to worst, I don't like it. I'm young. Who cares? And yeah,
Nice.
took that shot in the dark, decided to move to Atlanta, and that's the rest is history so far. I'm 6 weeks into the job, 5 weeks out from the Orlando meeting, and that was so my very first day with Coca-Cola was going to an amusement park. So that was pretty awesome.
I know, I know. We will talk about those perks of that meeting, which were awesome. But and I get why they would take you to the office in Atlanta because I've been there a couple of times and they're just stunning and they are so much fun. The food is amazing. The drinks everywhere and the
Oh my
art and
gosh.
all the creativity around you is overwhelming, but it's
Oh, it's
brutal.
fantastic. It's such a cool office. The food is really good. The cafeteria is
I
great.
know.
And so I try to mix in some Dasani between my
Yeah.
sodas. I gotta drink my water. But and yeah, it's great. Sodas are everywhere. The
It's
food establishments really get to learn your products well and what you're helping sell. So it's a really amazing opportunity to have all these things around you and all the history in the company as well. There's so many artifacts within the office and the headquarters that are date back to over 100 years ago so it's pretty amazing.
Yes, you should get if you get a chance, go to archives. We were invited in January to go to archives, where it's actually like the original bottles, the first ones, the original sign from the Coca-Cola first factory and all that. That is in a separate building, protected from fire. It's like super bolted, but is worth a
Oh,
visit. So,
is that the World of Coca-Cola is also a fantastic place to visit.
oh yeah,
Their
what
museum
a
there, they've got a lot of the artifacts there, and they've got a taste testing room that is really fun. They've got different drinks that they serve in different countries all around the world. A couple beverages that are no longer available. The only place in the world you can drink them is at the World of Coca-Cola. So it's a
yes, sir.
really cool experience.
That is amazing, and I actually kind of knew that you were in the finance division, and but now that you connect this story with the golf cart driving and all that, so we kind of get that you're not the shy guy in the back. You like to talk to people, but what we saw in Orlando from you was amazing. So let us know how was your experience. You show up to this corporate meeting in your first days in Coca-Cola, one of the biggest brands in the world, and you're handed out passport, some stickers, some cards. What the hell is this? So how do you live that? And
So,
what got you to do what you did next?
as I've said, my past experience, what really set me on this path of Coca-Cola was my communication and socialness, and being extroverted in that manner. that really already set my level of expectations with a lot of people at the company, being a social person. And then what seemed to be a weakness in not knowing anyone ended up being a strength in this gamification the game we had. The about 500 people at the event, and I knew beforehand 2 people that were going to be there. I'd met only 2 of them, so coming into it, I knew no one, so I was already had to make a point to go meet a lot of people, introduce myself. So with or without the game, I knew I was going to be on this 4 hours of being social, 4 days of being social, meeting people. Probably forget some of their names pretty quickly, but continual conversations and introductions. And yeah, so I get to the meeting. They show us the game and how it works. And I'm like, oh, this seems fun. Maybe I can, I'll play this game for a bit. I didn't think I was going to play for a couple hours and really know how serious anyone was going to take it. Just because a lot of people are a little bit older than me. So I was like, oh, that's more gamified. It's more for my generation. I don't know how many people are going to want to play. But I was very wrong. Everyone got very involved in the game. And like I said, I thought was a weakness of not knowing anyone, it was ended up being a strength. I was constantly meeting new people, always talking to them, and a game was a very easy thing to talk about as well. Like, oh, do you have any stickers? Do you want to trade with me? Things of that nature. And that was very fortunate. And it's plus at one of the games when you get the letter ones, when you have to do challenges, those were also, I was able to use my ability to be social to just talk to people and help me with that. Learn, okay, this is not as bad as I thought. Like, I need hey, can you come here and help me roll the dice? I need a teammate to do this. It was just very easy for me to leverage my need to introduce myself to people for the games, for my benefit in the game. And turns out I got a lot more stickers than 490 people did. There was only about 10 of us that were within a couple differences of each other with the gemstones. But yeah, fantastic experience. It made meeting people definitely a whole lot easier as well. Just knowing there was something for sure I could talk to them about, like, because there were some people I didn't know what their role was, some of their background, knew very little about anyone, knew no one. And so just getting to talk to them and having a common objective of trying to do this game and work through it together, really just the combination of the need to meet people and my competitiveness in games really strengthened my my goals in the game, my results in the game. Yeah.
Exactly, and I can assure that some of the people you talk to and some of the people that notice you, they were not like necessarily your peers. Like, and I have spoken with people and everybody knows the name Colton. Everybody knew the name Colton by the end, and I think there was a specific person in the organization, very high, that said, like, she mentioned to me, like, Dagmar Boggs came to me the last day, and she said, like, what about Colton? Like, this guy is new, and now everybody knows him, and everybody knows he's a winner, he's a go-getter. And is it true that she told you the next time she visits town, she's gonna take you out for lunch?
Yeah. So she said to keep in contact with her after the first couple months to reach out again after the first couple months of working, to catch up again. Because no, it was definitely did not expect to be name dropped by the head of food services on premise, entire food services organization of Coca-Cola North America, in my 4th day of work, and to have her know me by name, that was really awesome. I knew I would try and meet I would be meeting a lot of people. So and it was like a funny story. Like, everyone would be like, oh, this is that kid who's first day of work. This is his first day of work here, and he's at Universal Studios. I knew that'd be like a funny bit, but definitely did not expect my name to be so common a household name. among the people for the game. Uh, so that was pretty cool. That was really
Totally,
awesome.
totally. And just so you guys know, we actually had a lot of fun besides the game because the Coca-Cola company closed up Universal Studios just for the team. We had open bar, open rides, unlimited riding for like 4 hours that night was amazing. But other than that fun, which is yeah, I wish my first day at that job, my first week was like that. Do you feel that this experience had any impact on how you started your life in your career in Coca-Cola versus yeah, just a regular guy going to the meeting, yeah, nice to meet you, and going back?
Without a doubt, yes. I think it totally changed. Uh, I think a lot of things for me going into company. If it was just a normal, like regular meetings, it was just like, oh, that's the new kid. It's like nice to meet you, everything. But I think being able to set it, though it was through a game, being able to say a name for yourself through just initiative and drive to meet people and general competition, wanting to be like eagerness. I really set a precedent for myself with a lot of people. I think a lot of people now are like, oh, this is, I can see why they hired such a young person. It's really great opportunity to be able to showcase some of my social skills and leverage them into winning some pretty awesome things.
So it was like a perfect platform to put out your superpowers of going out to people. You're not a shy guy.
Yeah,
You're a go-getter, and the game offered you like a platform to mm, go for it and just use it. Yes.
exactly. And a lot of the people that in my role I work with are fully remote or not even just remote, but based in all over the country. So I'm working with people that are based in Michigan, Minnesota, Boston, Massachusetts, down to Florida. Um, but they were all there that trip. So that the biggest thing was being able to get to meet a lot of people that I'll be working with and put like a full body to just a little head in the corner that
Oh
I'll
yeah.
be working with in the corner and getting to learn more about them and meet people in a very casual environment. And that's another thing that the game brought was it's not as easy in an office setting to introduce yourself to someone because people are busy, people are working, we got other things on their plate. But there, the only real responsibility most people had was to win that game. So it was it was very casual event in terms of just like how people were like people were dressed fun, like it was resort casual. And so having that experience definitely helped me out so much, being able to get to meet people in this type of environment. We're all having fun playing a game together. Uh, Definitely is a million times better than trying to approach someone in the office while they're in the middle of building some presentation or work on Excel or something. It's just not the same as playing these games. So yeah, it definitely helped me a lot, especially someone. I think it had the benefit it had for me as a new hire also is much different than some of the benefits it had for some of the more experienced people. But those more experienced people, they for sure got an unbelievable experience from the gamification.
Awesome, Colton. Awesome.
Yeah.
So so okay, so you were mentioning, so this is probably one of the first corporate events, but would you say this was a cool one? This was a fun one. Would you say this is something you would recommend other people to do to experience? What are your closing notes on that?
Without a doubt, I 100% recommend any company that's doing a major conference or come together meeting to do something like this of the gamification. Uh, so many of the people that were at the event are based all over the country, from the West Coast to the East Coast, all the way south, all up to north. Even there were some people there that are based in Canada at the event. So it was North America, food services North America, and it giving 500 people hard to meet a lot, not hard to just go around meet people, but to give a game to it to add a competitive edge was uh, really beneficial. I think it made a lot of people more communicative. And they definitely made me reach out to more people I'm not sure I necessarily would have had the opportunity to talk to. I say I talked to, out of 500 people, at least 200. I met at least 200 people at that event. I can't say I would have met half that many people uh, if it weren't for some kind of gamified experience where that enabled me to keep on talking to people, and keep on building relationships as well. So, and as you know, there was someone else at the meeting that was very competitive with me, and he's actually based in Texas, and me and him are close now. I've reached out to him since there. Since then, it's been a great relationship to build, and just from us, just like trying to just trying to beat outwin out
Each other.
the other. Yeah,
Yeah, say hi to Rob.
exactly.
It is
We
Rob,
ended up,
isn't it?
there was mutual respect between us in this game, so it was fun.
I know. It was like a rivalry that became a friendship. That is so beautiful.
Exactly.
So Colton,
Yeah.
thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us and share your experience. We were dying to know about it. So we hope to see you again. We hope to see you in the next one. And thank you for helping us take the message to the world that this is really fun.
Oh, yeah, no, thank you for having me on. I really do. I hope Coca-Cola is able to bring you all on again for our next meeting. I don't know when that'll be, but hopefully soon. And I hope any other company that listens to this, it hires you guys, because that was awesome. And it was a great experience.
Let's pray for that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.